I was surrounded by everything I ever wanted, but I felt absolutely nothing. For months, I couldn't understand what was wrong with me. I'd wake up each morning with this heavy emptiness in my chest. Friends would invite me out, and I'd force a smile, but inside, nothing. No spark, no excitement. I tried everything: new hobbies, travel, even therapy sessions where I'd list all the good things in my life. But the joy never came. It was like watching life through frosted glass. I could see happiness was supposed to be there, but I couldn't touch it. The scariest part, I started believing this was just who I was now, a person who couldn't feel pleasure anymore. I'd scroll through social media, seeing people laugh, celebrate, enjoy simple moments, and I felt like an alien observing a species I no longer belonged to. Nothing worked. Not meditation apps, not gratitude journals, not treating myself. The block was real, invisible, and suffocating, and I had no idea what was causing it. Until I discovered something hidden in my subconscious that changed everything. The breakthrough came during a simple question from my therapist. Do you believe you deserve to be happy? I froze. Because deep down, buried under years of conditioning, the answer was no. Here's what I learned. The inability to feel joy is almost always connected to guilt. Not the obvious kind, not "I did something wrong yesterday" guilt, but deep, unconscious guilt that whispers, "You're not good enough. You haven't earned this. You don't deserve pleasure." This guilt comes from invisible internal rules we didn't even know we created. Rules like, I must be perfect to deserve joy, or if I'm happy while others suffer, I'm selfish, or success without struggle isn't real success. My brain had literally developed a protective mechanism. Whenever something good happened, my subconscious ran a background check. Does he meet the requirements? Has he done enough? Is he worthy? And every time the answer was no. Shut down the pleasure center. It wasn't depression. It wasn't laziness. It was my own internal judge blocking the gates to joy because some part of me believed I hadn't earned the right to pass through. Once I saw this pattern, I knew exactly what had to change. I made a decision that day. I would challenge every single requirement my mind placed on happiness. I started writing down my internal rules. I must work 12 hours to deserve rest. I must fix everyone's problems before I can relax. I must achieve more before I can celebrate. Seeing them on paper, I realized how absurd they were. Nobody gave me these rules. I created them, which meant I could destroy them. I began a daily practice, doing something pleasurable without earning it first. A walk in the park. Not because I finished work, but because I'm alive, and walks are free. Coffee at a nice cafe, not as a reward, but as an act of self-compassion. Watching a sunset without guilt about wasting time. At first, my brain screamed in protest, but I kept going. I started talking to that guilty voice. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I don't need punishment anymore. I'm worthy simply because I exist. My perception shifted. I stopped waiting for permission from an invisible authority figure. I gave myself unconditional permission to feel good. No prerequisites, no worthiness tests, just the radical act of accepting joy as a birthright, not a prize. And then, slowly at first, everything started to shift. Now, I can feel again. It didn't happen overnight, but one morning, I laughed at a joke and realized I actually felt it. The warmth in my chest, the lightness, the real, genuine joy I thought I'd lost forever. Everything changed when I stopped treating happiness as something I had to deserve. I developed a skill I call guilt-free pleasure, the ability to enjoy moments without the background voice telling me I haven't earned them. I'm grateful for this struggle because it made me stronger. I learned that self-worth isn't conditional. I now have the ability to catch those guilty thoughts before they shut down my joy. I recognize when I'm punishing myself unnecessarily, and I choose differently. Today, I can celebrate small wins, feel proud without waiting for external validation, rest without guilt, love without conditions, and most importantly, I can experience pleasure not because I've achieved enough, but simply because I'm human and joy is my natural state. The block is gone, and if you're feeling what I felt, that invisible barrier between you and happiness, know this. You already deserve joy, right now, exactly as you are. Try this today. Do one thing that brings you pleasure without earning it first. Notice the guilt, thank it, and do it anyway. Your joy is waiting on the other side of that permission you've been withholding from yourself.